Good afternoon. It is with great pleasure that we are welcoming today the director of the Nikos Kazantzakis Chair at the Center for Modern Greek Studies in San Francisco, Professor Martha Klironomos. Professor Klironomos, welcome to our program.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
And tell us a little bit about the center.
Yes, the center was established, actually the Nikos Kazantzakis Chair was established in 1983. So since I've joined this past semester in '96, the center has had a tradition of teaching courses in language, literature, and culture. Anything that has to do with modern Greece and its legacy. And at the moment now, I'm designing an interdisciplinary program in language, literature, and it's also will be including anthropology, the Orthodox tradition, so that students can either minor or major in the study of modern Greece and its traditions. And it'll take a little time, but we think within a year or two we'll put that in place. But I guess one of the things I wanted to emphasize is it's not only that we want to strive for a student who takes the courses to attain a level of competency in knowledge about modern Greece. I think, if anything, one of the things we try to do through our program, either through academic programs like the one I just described, or through the various ways we do our public outreach through lectures, seminars, readings, exhibits. We try, in a sense, to promote an image of modern Greece that perhaps is a little more conducive to that which has been the one that we've seen promoted either in the media or from the perspective of outsiders. For instance, those of us who are specialists in modern Greek studies, I think we adhere to a new pedagogic model. We try to present Greece and offer it as an illuminating example of what we could learn about its history, what we could learn about its cultural traditions. That's something unique, something beyond that which you see in Europe. Because too often Greece is presented in a variety of fashions as economically disadvantaged or disenfranchised, as a marginal European nation. So in a sense, we try to present it with a new light. And we say, yes, we know Greece, for instance, did not go through the Renaissance. Yes, Greece didn't go through the Reformation, the Industrial Revolution, but perhaps it has something interesting to tell us about how political nationalism took its shape, how cultural nationalism took its shape. And maybe I should be a little more concrete to show you, okay, what am I talking about? Literature here in the States has become something very privatized. It's become a commodity, per se. But in Greece, literature always played a very integral role in showing us, okay, how is it we're going to define ourselves as Greeks? Are we Hellenes, part of the ancient past, the pagan, the secular? Or are we Romi, part of the Byzantine Orthodox traditions, and something where we've developed from that civilization to what we are today? So it's not just literature, people who write literature, but it's also scholars who debate these things in the public sphere, in the newspapers. So a cursory glance at discussions that go on in the newspaper illuminate that a writer, an academic, a professor in the social sciences doesn't stay in the ivory tower, but they debate these things and they become accountable and responsible in the public sphere, which is something very different from what we experience here. So to us, those are things that are that we accentuate, and we say, well, look, I think we have something very interesting here in the case of Greece. That's very different from what you see in America, where literature doesn't have such an important role to play.
I'm sure that many of our viewers would be interested to know about the courses, the specific courses that the center offers.
Right. At the moment, I'm designing the minor, so naturally we offer basic courses in from beginner, intermediate, advanced language. But in my literature courses, it's not that we read the literature for enjoyment, but I specifically design them with the Greek American audience in mind. And I start, for instance, with the very important role that the diaspora played in illuminating the Greek cause for the revolution, let's say. And so I start with, well, what was the role in, like Rigas Fereos, who was in Vienna, or Korais, who lectured in France, for instance. What did they do? How did they participate in this cause? To give a sense of a historicity to the role of the Greeks in the diaspora, and to give a sense of pride, I think, because many of us forget these things, and I feel we should re-emphasize that we have played a very important role in that particular cause, but also in disseminating Greek culture, pedia, as we say in Greek. So that's the kind of things I emphasize in the courses. So it's not just a dry survey of reading Kavafis, Seferis, Kazantzakis, who are very important writers and have been writers that perhaps non-Greeks have known about because of their cosmopolitan appeal. But I think it's good also to note, again, to give a historical model, a historical place to these particular individuals. We also want to offer courses in history. We will be offering one in anthropology, an introduction to the contemporary culture of Greece this fall. And that will be taught by Roland Moore, who's an anthropologist who's well known in the Bay Area, for instance. So we're trying to broaden the scope, so not just offer within the realm of literary studies, but to branch out in the social sciences as well.
I understand that the current course is underway. What is the duration, and when does the next semester start?
Yes, you're right. Right now we're in the middle of our winter semester. The fall semester will begin the last week of August. And the courses are open to everyone, whether they're students at State or to members of the community, which we hope very much people will be inspired. And there's all kinds of programs that people over 60 can apply for. And in their case, the fee is very minimal. So we encourage members of the community to come. They've been most supportive.
And would you give us a phone number where the viewers can call and find out more about it?
Of course. Let's see. The phone number is area code 415-338-1892.
Professor Klironomos, thank you very much for coming, and we hope to have you soon in our program again.
Thank you very much. Thank you.